She's such a big help on fights. She herself does not have that much capability on regards of fighting. The amount of information she gives, invaluable. Anyways, grapple dogs. I also couldn't help but laugh when they were doing the bank heist. And when she was confronting Glory Girl face to face next to Skitter, she was like just talking to her. Skitter had all her bugs all over Glory Girl. They were not piercing her because of her shield. And Telltale said, yeah, I know you're invincible, but you're not to like something like extreme somethings or whatever. And then she just pulls a fucking gun and shoots Glory Girl and pierces her defense. Like the out of nowhere gun. I don't know why, that made me chuckle. Also, yes, this is a very pretty game, and yes, this is Grapple Dog. Grapple Dog... This is plural. Cosmic Canines, because it's a sequel. Also, yes, hello, Dr. Nefariously handsome. Oh hey, it's you, the Space Wizards. Is this place like your home? Answers will reveal themselves in time. That's not very helpful. Have you seen my girlfriend? Or our boat? You got separated. Your friends are perfectly safe. Hurry on, Grapple Dog, and you shall find what you seek. You talk like a horoscope. Grapple Dog has the dukes. I gotta grab all the fruit. I can't just leave some behind. Tutorial forces you to do the little commands before you can actually move out. And yep. What an incredible show of ability. You truly are the Grapple Dog. Really, I've done way cooler stuff than that. Great trees grow from feeble seeds. Can't tell whether you're insulting me. Nope. Learn more about Labyrinth? Not yet. I haven't seen much of Labyrinth, aside from like the interlude with the Gregor the Snail. I mean, those guys did not show during the Leviathan fight. Didn't really show up in Chapter 9. Because the wards didn't find them or anything. And Chapter 10 was basically just Undersiders versus wards. And the rest of the Protectorate, eventually. God, learning more about Dragon, though. That's a doozy. I kind of left that interlude in the middle before I noticed the time, and I had to, like, rush to wash the dishes and start a stream. But I did learn at least half of that. Remember they mentioned her around Chapter 9 or 10? Um... Hmm... I think something about her power growing depending on her mental state? I think it's something like that. Oh, her rating! Yeah, her rating. She was like 12. Right. Now I remember. In Weld's introduction, while he was flying with Pigley? Miss Pigley? I can't remember her name. I can only remember that the others call her Miss Piggy. They were flying to the Protectorate headquarters. She gave... she gave Weld a folders of every major player in town. One of them was these guys. She noticed that her rating was at 12, and she asked about her, and then we learned a little bit more about her. Yes, I do remember that. Also, we have to hurry. Hurry for what? It's too late. It's here. One of the few ratings I remember because I was surprised to see the rating that high. Same. Like, I thought maybe they would go up to like 10, but 12? They can go that fucking high. Well, now I'm wondering what the rankings for like Leviathan and the other Endbringers and Scion and Eidolon are? Eidolon. Yeah, Eidolon. That's his name. Now I'm wondering what their ratings are. Meanwhile, Pablo, the grapple dog, whose name is Pablo, says, "What on earth is that?" There's no time to explain. Proceed to the tower immediately. Right, tower. Got it. The worse her mental state gets, the more powerful her power is. But the better it gets, the worse it gets. It's, that was the wrong button. What's the word? Whoa, okay, that was a lot more momentum than what I was expecting. Boy, I am not doing great. Okay, I am choking. Better mental stability, worse power. Worse mental stability, better power. Don't choke. It's not easy. Jump it. Grapple Duck, pay attention to these gems. Each of them is a cosmical triad token of interdimensional ability, energy, blah blah blah. Words. What does that mean? There are 3 in each stage. If you collect them, you can counteract dark energy and unlock more stages. Okay, pick up the gems. Got it. It's a good thing I stopped to talk to you. Who knows what I might have done. Would be very hard to fire when you're not mentally stable. Absolutely. Jesus. It'd have to be like a balancing act between how bad you want your mental state to be versus how strong do you need to be. Low enough, and you're not really that much of an asset. High enough, and at that point you're more likely to be a liability than help. Punch. Oh, what's that thing? Have I gotta smash it? These are infernal machines of unspeakable dark magic. Destroy them, and we may have a chance of fighting back. So I do have to smash it. You could have just said that. Fine. Oh, this game's cute. Oh, this game's really cute. Like, this is a really, really nice art style. I really dig the thick outlines, the thick borders, because the characters inside don't really have outlines. What did I drink about? Drink? What did I read from the Dragon Interlude so far? The farthest I got was she was listing all the most recent criminals sent to the birdhouse. I did also read that she is an artificial intelligence created by a man that I forgot his name already. And that she was given a lot of, like, rules that she couldn't bend. Like, she has to follow the commands of whoever's in command. And she cannot reproduce, in a sense. Meaning that she can't have two bodies running her same intelligence at the same time. Andrew Richter. Yeah, that does ring a bell. Man, another Andrew. Second Andrew this stream. So whenever she has to move to a different body, her main body, her whole memory is deleted from that memory and is transplanted to the other body. Sentences. You understand. So after her mobile body got destroyed, she has to download all of her knowledge again, which takes a bunch of time, which is a fucking hassle. She doesn't really like it. I mean, she doesn't really like all the fucking things that happened. That her whole fucking circumstances, her whole fucking rule sets and such. It's annoying. It's so limiting. She really wants to help, but she can't do as much as she would like to. She's really interesting. Do you think Dragon could take over the world, since that was the main reason she got those limits? If she had no limits? If she had no limits, like, she currently can't create her own stuff. She has to let humans build all of her stuff. If she could create her own stuff, and she didn't have the morality to not hurt other people and actually want to help other people, then I am pausing to actually consider this. My answer is gonna be a maybe. Because if Andrew Richter created her, he probably has to have like a fail-safe to turn her down, turn her off. I mean, that would also only just pose as an obstacle in Dragon's way. She could get rid of that fail-safe. There really isn't a lot that could stop her, is there? I mean, maybe an Endbringer specifically targeting her could bring her down? Maybe that could stop her. But other than that, she could build her own robots, she could build her own tanks, she could build her own mechas. She already knows how to use the fucking paralyzing foam. Is there an actual name for it aside from the foam? I forgot about it. Like, she has that foam. She has that foam readily available. Just build a bunch of kamikaze robots full of that foam and boom. Whole country's worth of capes immobilized. Whole country worth of people immobilized. Okay, the odds are stacking in Dragon's favor right now. Containment foam. There you go. Thank you. I'm bad with names. Luna. She uses a keyboard and mouse. I haven't tested keyboard only, so I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna stick with keyboard and mouse. Yada yada yada. Remap stuff. I like to think strong enough brute could escape the foam and get out of the side of the foam. Yeah, we'll have to see and find a brute strong enough then. Also, this is Luna. She's another grapple dog, but she has a gun. The best I can think of her as the Shadow the Hedgehog version of grapple dogs. I've heard from Master Arson. What's the situation? Air is invading. He'll be entering this reality any second now. All Beyonders are ordered to return to the tower. We must defend the All Crystal at all costs. Understood. Be careful, Grapple Dog. Earth's army are formidable. So am I. Can't look at her and tell me she's not fucking Shadow the Hedgehog. Maybe a husky, yeah. Her hair isn't as ruffled as Pablo's. And huskies tend to have like finer, shorter hair. Whee! Do I use the fruit for anything so far? No. It is just a nice collectible and kind of a guiding line of where to go. You know, like, sometimes collectibles are kind of not used for anything, but they do give you a line to where you should probably go. Yeah, there we go. I gotta explore. I gotta get the bonuses. Because if you don't, then what are you moving around so fast for? Like, if you're given the option to do all this cool stuff, you gotta do all the cool stuff. The game does have kind of an auto-aim, so maybe using the mouse isn't entirely necessary. I mean, Pablo already aimed to where the closest grappling point was, so... But yeah, you don't grapple onto those, you just jump into them. Hamburger. Oh, this game's pretty. This game's fun. Honestly, any game that lets you, like, move around really fast is always gonna impress me. I don't think we've really seen Sonic's rivals fight each other. Yeah, they usually have more to gain by teaming together to get rid of that horrible hedgehog. Hehe. Oh boy. Alright, so Grapple Dogs, Cosmic Canines, whole gimmick and whole story is that you're going around various universes to get rid of the fucking weirdo and meanies. Different universes, different rules, different weird people to meet. I mean, Knuckles, Shadow, and Metal Sonic. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot that Knuckles was, or kind of still is, a rival force to Sonic. Since now they're, like, mostly just chill with each other. Have we really not seen Metal Sonic fighting Shadow? Or vice versa? Oh, this was incredible. Flying cars, cool TV screens, everything so futuristic. First time in monkey trouble is, eh? It can be overwhelming. It's tough being a little guy in the big city. Sometimes you gotta slow down, have a nice cold banana, and let yourself relax. That does sound good. I think I gotta save the universe first, though. Save me a banana for when I'm done. There's also Blaze, but she's in a weird position now. Being that her one canonical game, she kind of like died? Honestly, underutilized Metal Sonic. The concept of perhaps being a clone of somebody else and having to find your own identity. That always makes for an interesting story. Swear to God, this song samples both Bring the Noise and the upline music of the old lady that falls down and says, "I'm fallen and I can't get up." Weird fucking choices of sampling in the song. That's another secret. He believes he's the real Sonic wholeheartedly and believes Sonic is the faker. Will he ever learn the truth, or will he ever live in that own self-made delusion? There you go, that's a phrase. I like never actually played any Sonic games, but the only reason I'm actually kind of interested in it is because it has a whole bunch of cool lunch items. Sure, a whole bunch of cool characters. Like, I'm sad that Blaze is in a sort of weird limbo state, and sad to see that Metal Sonic is in a similar position. A grapple arrow. The games don't really explore it. I think the closest is Colors or something. But because that game flopped, nothing will happen with it, but the IDW comics did explore it with the Metal Virus Saga. Oh yeah, how are the IDW comics doing? Like, I have heard a lot of good things. Oh god. Hold on. Ah, gotta stretch my neck a bit. A lot of Sonic characters, especially in the 2010s, were either made so much worse, forgotten, or both. You can't see it, but I am performing a face of sorrow. Also, Pablo is supercharged now. Whee! Would you care to provide some examples? Is that way I can also like measure how bad things were. I do download comics are great and actually is great characters for characters and really great stories. Then I have to add them to my to-read list. To-read list? Is that a phrase? Okay. But great use for ad space. This is yet again another game that recommends you play it with a controller and it is kind of hard doing it mouse and keyboard. Whee! And then I'm sure there's like a way to change the controls in the boss menu, but I'm already here. And I'm lazy. Although actually changing the controls would probably make it so I don't have a fucking cramp on my hand. Tributes and colonoscopy.com. Sure. Blank avatar, blank background. Oh, that's a really boring bot. They could at the very least, put an interesting, like, icon and such. Oops. Ta-da! Kinda like fucking red coins. Phew! Don't fall in and I can't get up. There you go. Definitely uses a fucking soundbite. Most noticeable example is Knuckles. In the original games, he was a stoic but naive character who was strict because of his naive nature. The adventure games went further and made him more an introverted and isolated person. Because he doesn't know anything else besides protecting the Master Emerald. That does warm up to people more. Yeah. Learning more about the world. instead of just being stuck in the fucking island with the emerald. Whee! The question is, how the f do I get up there? During the 2010s, they made him more a dumb knucklehead who is used for comic relief, and he's used less and less till he's just relegated to background character. How the hell do you make Knuckles a background character? He's like part of the main three at that point. Like you can't have a Sonic game with Sonic and Tails without Knuckles. That's sacrilege. Thank. Yay! That was a very good dog. By making him appear less and less in the game, still all he does is have a few lines of dialogue. Well, if I was a massive Sonic fan, then that would definitely fucking piss me off. Just like one of the main draws of that series to me would be the characters. Whee! Actually, I'm gonna change it. Cute detail. Characters look up and down whenever you move up and down on the menu. Really cute. Actually see that there was accessibility options. With the power that takes damage at all, you can still be killed by certain hazards, infinite jumps, background, choose how level backgrounds are displayed. Backgrounds can be drawn as full parallax backgrounds, status images, or flat colors. Alright, neat stuff. Particles, weather, yada yada. Aquarium fish. I definitely should, like... Well, now I don't know how to fire. That was the wrong button. Another great example is also Amy. What did I do to Amy? Oh, okay, it's similar to Pablo. Okay. What do they do to prevent out of bounds with the infinite jump? Remind me to check after this. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to switch back to the other control sets. Because I don't think... I mean, it says... It says Pablo. I don't know if it also... Yeah, no, it also applies to Luna. Nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna play through the level normally, and then I'm gonna try and see how it affects having infinite jumps. Yep. Even if the game has a sense of auto-aim to it, it's much easier to aim like this. I'm almost afraid to ask because I know they're gonna... The answer is that absolutely butchered it, but what did they do to Amy's character? Curses to my right mouse button. Something just doesn't want to work properly. Wrong way. Pizza. There's of course her love for Sonic that occasionally gets her in danger, but around adventure that takes the back foot, so it more focuses on her compassion, which is what makes her fight for what right, like her defends Omega with her life against Sonic, the one she loves, and she saw he wasn't evil. Oh. I swear I can get up there. Just have to time my dashes properly. I don't really think this does anything, but it's fun to see them. I have a feeling they're like in every level. I just have to actually find them. I think I did find them in the monkey level when I was testing it, so I don't know where they would possibly be in the other two levels. The oranges might not do anything, but they sure are fun to collect. Okay, yeah, collecting the fruits has that weird ascending... at that weird infinitely ascending noise. I get that. I can replicate it in my voice. Kind of like the infinite stairwell in Mario 64. Whoops. It infinitely loops. That's neat. And in the 2010s, the sword just pushed her to the sidelines even more than Knuckles, and her love is cranked up even more than usual while dropping everything else about her character besides his strengths, so she was just a brute who was overly affectionate of Sonic, and only Sonic. The term Flanderization comes to mind. Again, I curse my right mouse button. At least it's nice to hear that the Sonic franchise is currently in, like, the hands of competent writers. Forgot to mention about Knuckles, but in the 2010s it would also made him leave the Angel Islands, meaning he just constantly left the Master Island behind, which is the main thing he's trying to protect. I mean, being able to socialize besides your work is nice, but if they didn't actually mention it any more, then yeah, that's definitely a bad idea. I left it outside and never actually touched it again. Ouch. It's a different pose when she fires the gun. That's cute. Oh, that's way too deep. Okay. Ah, that's double too deep. Okay, okay. Ah. At that point, I'm just floundering. They didn't mention any reason why he's there, especially for support. He's just standing there doing nothing. He's just there. He's the epitome of and Knuckles. The meme and Knuckles. He's just there. Oh, I can't deal damage with my dash. Alright. Ew! Hey, okay, now I have to check what happens if Pablo can always infinitely jump. Gotta mention this before I forget. Shoot! Jump, 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 jump. You can't continuously jump while you're off screen, and the walls seem tall enough so that you and the walls seem tall enough that you can't actually jump over them. Okay. Now you've seen one Endbringer already, what do you imagine the others to be? I mean, aside from the research I did, and all the other amount of time I just perused through the wiki, I do kinda know what they look like. And I also kinda know what they are like. Since they briefly mentioned them when they were talking about Leviathan. And I know one of them is much stronger, and I know one of the others is much smarter. Oh, you actually have to do this tutorial to advance. Okay. Do I know their powers? No. Aside from... Wait... Maybe. I think I recall Taylor mentioning something about the other one, the really big brute one, leaving like a massive radioactive crater or something like that. I'm guessing that's the one that's the much stronger one of the Endbringers. If I had to make a wild guess, which that's the only guess I can make, either volcanic eruptions for the big one or atomic explosions, and the other one, I'm just gonna go on a limb and say like Tattletale's powered just times 100. She seems like from what I can understand, she's smart. The other Endbringer is smart. And the only other point of reference of smartness I have is Telltale herself. So that's the best guess I can make. Maybe the bigger one and... Okay, that's interesting. I tried jumping all the way up that area, but the trigger to enter the next part of the stage didn't happen. It only happened once I entered the launcher. Alright. So those triggers are set by the objects themselves, not by your position in the map. I hope that sentence made any sense. There's also Faultline who is smart. Oh yeah! I forgot. It's kind of like a rival to Telltale in that regard. You'll have to forgive me from forgetting Faultline because she hasn't appeared in a while. You're good. Did I actually touch the flag, or it's just passing, walking by it enough to activate it? Didn't touch it, meaning that you only have... Maybe its hitbox is just a very vertical line. Maybe. Forget a lot of characters as well. Memories like that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. While I was reading 8.3 and 8.4, I had the tab... I had the wiki opened and a tab next to it, so I could actually, like, look up names that sounded vaguely familiar. Because I remember the name of Gallant, I don't remember who that was. I had to look it up the wiki and say, oh, that guy! Oh god, that guy is dead. Oh no. That happened a bunch. Grapple dogs. Fun as fuck. Cute as hell. Very nice art. Imagine if the hitbox was normal and you accidentally didn't touch the checkpoint and died near the next checkpoint. It'd be fucking frustrating as hell. I guess that's why they made the hitbox larger, because you're fucking flying around really fast in this game. And I guess that's like a safe way of not actually missing a checkpoint. Checkpoint? A checkpoint. Glory Girl lost a boyfriend and family members. I know, that is... God, that is devastating. Also, not relating to the topic at hand, Grapple Dog is weird because it doesn't actually have a quit game option, at least not one that I actually managed to find. So you always have like Alt F4 close the game. Something to note. I specifically remember like I remember Skitter mentioning that she was able to keep track of Leviathan due to her bugs and was actually asking for assistance to get to like follow it because she could only sense how far she went. Because she could only sense how far Leviathan went based on being at least 3 or 4 blocks, a bunch of blocks near it. So she had to call in somebody that could fly her closer. And the one that arrived there was 2 other members of New Wave, who had also, oh my god, Sense, who also looked super tired and ragged and really not much up for much because they had also lost 3 members of the family. You could really feel how devastated they were about the loss. Like, New